Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. The prophecy has come true. I'm actually sick and infected with where I live. Definitely should not be singing today. R1J9 to where? It's just the way it goes, man. Cold and flu season. I've got cold and flu seasoning. It's like Mrs. Dash, except I feel like Mr. You can't say that on YouTube. Don't worry about me. I've got tea. I've got Dayquil. I've got Buckley's. It tastes awful, and it works. It's the Canadian cough syrup of choice. You know, I have to be honest about something. It's actually like more comfortable for me to talk like this almost, but I have to be honest about something. I don't think, maybe this is the fever talking, I don't think that Buckley's actually tastes that bad. It is made primarily of like the sap of a tree that only grows in an eldritch forest 500 miles north of Canada, Ontario. And I don't think it's that bad. It's something that's like it's spicy, it burns. Cough syrup is weird to me. I'm just feeling out a bit. Bear with me. It feels like cough syrup is like a medicine that time forgot. Like when you take oh, this is just horrendous. When you take like something in pill form, you go, okay, I get it. You know, this is a medicine. Someone at the FDA looked at this, tested it, put it in the mass spectrometer, signed off on it, and here we are. Cough syrup is like, I always feel like it's brewed up by some dude in like a tent that he drags around from frontier town to frontier town. Help. Oh, we're actually pretty good here. So I step right up for Robitussin DXM. Could be worse. Could be Robitussin DMX. Or could be better. Could be Robitussin DMX. I don't know. I hate fighting Ragman early, but we do have bombs. I will not hesitate, as you just saw, to use some bombs to kill this dude, but it didn't really go according to plan, so we're gonna be stuck here for a little while. I always say this because, like, people, and they're right, by the way, because I probably sound like death to listen to right now. But people always go, and I'll take a break. And you're right, I should. But I don't feel bad. Like, taking a break is, I think it's important if you're like, I feel myself coming down with something, I'm achy, I got fevers, I got chills, they're multiplying even. I think we have to head down to the next floor. Let me take a sip of this tea, maybe coat the throat a little bit. I'll sound like Colin Hay from Men at Work when I come back. Tomo. The tea is too hot. Terrible first floor, by the way. Basically just Little Steven and a botched reroll. In hindsight, we probably should have used Black Hole to maybe try to open a secret room and then work from there. But anyway, that train has sailed. I feel good. Mentally, I'm spry. I can make jokes with the best of them today. I was trying to do that town crier sort of thing with the snake oil salesman who's selling cough syrup, but it didn't work out. The energy is not there. But mentally, it's there. I'm gonna try to get a little aggressive here. Not too much. Keep myself 2 hits away from death at bare minimum. The idea is if we get an IV bag, we could re-roll it right away, take advantage of our present situation. Man, I wish we kept a single bomb. But I don't like to take days off for the sake of taking days off. I don't work in an office. I don't have anything to worry about when it comes to, you know, infecting other people. Except, essentially, you know, Kate. But that's kind of what you sign up for. Literally, you say in sickness and in health. The subtext of that line is, you know when one of you gets sick, the other one's gonna get sick as well. And you're like, yeah, I know. You know, it's built into the clause. And I ain't talking about Santa. Please. Little Steven. Little damage, thank you. Little Steven, little damage. Too true to life. I don't know what we're going to do with AWAS. This isn't a daily. I think I'm going to scale back the dailies. I don't know if we've hit momentum yet or whatever it's called. dedication, no breathing. But the dailies that I'm just sick of fighting Hush. That's what it comes down to. I'm sick of fighting Hush, and I'm sick of fighting Delirium, which I don't even fight that often, but that's because it's annoying to begin with, so I'm gonna stay away from that. But anyway, the point is, it doesn't matter. What I was gonna say about illness is, since I don't work in like a public health context, and in fact very rarely leave my own apartment, I don't mind working when I'm sick, and then I'd rather take a day off when I'm healthy. You know, I can go do something. I go head down to the art gallery and see the works of Takeshi Murakami or something like that. Don't you mean Harumi Murakami? No, I'm not talking about an author. I'm talking about a visual artist. You Philistine. I think we're gonna go with Super Bandage. I was skeptical, but Super Bandage gives us kind of the ability to pop a little bit here. Like, I love Gimpy for one. Super Bandage gives us the HP back that we wanted after buying, and it really is a purchase, after buying Gimpy. It gives us a little bit of leeway to play this guy. We're hoping for any item payout. We didn't get it yet. One bomb, one key starts to get us into a good spot, because there's a Tinted Rock that also allows us to get some consumable access. I probably will go to the curse room no matter what. We can also make it to our boss trap room. I would really love to leave this floor with some kind of DPS improvement, like a rate of fire or a damage upgrade or a good tier effect. We're kind of behind the 8 ball there. We got a good defensive item in Gimpy, but no luck upgrades to really make it pop. Unfortunately, we can't do anything there, and things are looking a little dicey. Where's this red heart? It is there. Okay, we can't get it. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Please drop like a lover's card. Wow, okay. Okay. Well, I think it's fair to say we've kind of made like some bad decisions on this run. There's not much we can do about not having any keys, but we're not really in love with the situation we're at. If this run were the Coco, the song about being in love with the Coco would be wrong. Which I think is about illicit drug use. But I don't know, because I've never heard it. It's one of those rap songs I've only heard in internet purposes. I've only heard the title of this song. It's like Turned Down for What? I am aware of the... I've been to an NHL hockey game, and I played Turned Down for What? And I was like, oh, this must be the song all the kids on the internet are talking about these days. But I oftentimes find myself bereft of the cultural experience necessary to know what songs people are talking about. Don't hurt me, I'm Ryan. Okay, there's our bomb. Let me tee up a little bit here. Normally, when people say tee up, they're about to go off on a rant. Not me. I'm literally drinking some tea. Which I don't normally do. I'm not against tea. We gotta try this. Ooh, not any good, unfortunately, but can be good in future contexts. I'm not against tea. Yep, yeah, I saw it coming a mile away. In my defense, that bombfly is ugly. This isn't sickness talking. This is, that run just, like... The things you would normally expect to pay out did not pay out. Even with Super Bandage, we died there. So we shouldn't have died. That's a little embarrassing, but at the same time, we just went a little too hard on a blood bank that, unfortunately, I guess we didn't have, like, the harness to deal with. Let's try to reroll that. You know what? Absolutely. I deserve to take the dunce cap because I died like an idiot. So the dunce cap is like 2020, but it's more like 0202. Like, we're happy with the improved rate of fire, but it does add a certain je ne sais quoi, if you will, to the run. We probably want to reroll Holy Water, unless we want to set the record for, like, the world's worst start to a floor. Deliberately so. I'm not complaining. I mean, I took dunce cap willfully. We've had some good dunce cap runs as well. Dude, this, I forgot Dunscap giving you spectral tears. That's actually like a huge advantage right there. You guys been watching any of the Olympics, which have probably been over for like a week and a half by the time this video goes live? I am fully entrenched in the Olympic spirit. I think what's nice about the, like, I like the Summer Olympics decently. I didn't watch almost any of the ones in Brazil 2 years ago, but that was because, I mean, I don't care about swimming. And also, I do have to point out, my country does well in the Winter Olympics usually, because we're coated in ice for like half the year. Well, not Vancouver. That's kind of like, you know, just not true. But the rest of the country, my familial brethren. So I think it's kind of natural to be like, I want to watch the Olympics my country's best at. But like, it's, the sports are so watchable, but you almost never see them outside of the Olympics. Like, I'm watching mixed doubles curling, and I'm going, this is a chess match. This is the greatest sport on planet Earth. Why has nobody made a curling video game that we can play on the NLSS? It's like a perfect combination. I'm watching short track speed skating, and I'm going, oh my god, these men and women are going around this track. They're like a quarter inch away from one another, traveling at 60 kilometers an hour. That's right, I'm mixed metric and imperial. Just for sport. Why has nobody... apparently that's what I think about the Olympics, is why hasn't someone made a video game of every sport? Where's my biathlon game? I'm going back. Never fear, I'm going back. I'm gonna have some tea here as well. The Olympics are also like weirdly on at kind of a good time for me. Like, events start at like 10 p.m. and I'm like, I'm done work, but I could work more, but I'm not gonna, cause alpine cross-country skiing is on. This is horrendous. I want to know, by the way, because I don't mean this to be insulting to Americans out there. I mean this sincerely. But you know that, like, in the Olympics, you're the Empire, right? Like, you're the, and I don't mean like Rome, I mean like Darth Vader. You're the Empire from The Empire Strikes Back. You got like a huge population, a storied history of doing extremely well at the Olympics, and an awful lot of funding. I root against you in essentially every event. There's a couple of other countries which I'll keep private that I would rather see the US win than. Particularly those damn dirty Latvians. I'm joking. I love you, Artur Zerbe. He's a Latvian goalie. But, like, how do you market the Olympics in Canada? Because here's how you market them in the US. How do you market them in the US? Because here's how you market them in Canada. They go like, Penny Johnson learned how to skate with a butter knife taped to the bottom of a crock when she was 14. And you're like, that's a Canadian story. In America, are they like, she was picked as the most athletic out of a class and put in a think tank to improve her wind resistance by 2% by the time she reached adolescence? Or do you guys have the same story, like, you know, from a small town in Boise, Idaho? I don't know, like, what do you do when you're the Empire? Surely, American Olympic coverage, because it is different sport to sport. Like, in some sports, they're the favorites, and in some sports, they're the underdogs. The same as, you know, Canada is. But, like, you can't feel like you're really the underdogs, right? Ever? Like, you got 300 million people and an incredible amount of investment in the sport. When somebody, it's like, you know, a Tongan cross-country skier comes in fourth, you're like, oh my god, that's amazing. When an American cross-country skier comes in second, you're like, what happened? That's my personal perspective. But maybe I'm projecting my beliefs onto, you know, the country at hand. Might not be the case. The point is, we beat you at curling because we're the best, so don't at me. I wish we were better in the Summer Olympics, but if you gotta choose one, dude, I don't know. I like the Winter Olympics more. I find the sports more engaging. Like, admittedly, I can understand why people like the Summer Olympics. Like, there's a lot of marquee events, let's put it that way. There's a chance for somebody to win 15 swimming gold medals. There's a chance for Usain Bolt to shatter his record in the 100-meter dash. But that's like a 10-second event. Ooh, I hate like all of these. I kind of still don't like that, but we're going to move on here. Let me tee up for a second. It's maintenance tea. Ooh, that's a drinkable tea. You can hear the power returning to my voice as we talk. Sorry, Tomo. I was apologizing to my cat because I'm speaking more loudly now. And I'm starting to form coherent thoughts. I can feel the muscle memories coming back to me. Plus, the Zane is already returned. Like, let me just put it this way. Curling is like golf a little bit. It's a game you can watch develop, and it's also a game where you can actually know what's happening as it's happening. It's basically, if you don't know the rules of curling, it's like shuffleboard. Or crokinole. So you, that's a Canadian thing, but if you know what crokinole is, you probably know what curling is, to be fair. But, so you look at it and it's like whoever gets their stone closest to the center scores, and then they score based on how many stones they have closer to the center than the enemy. So if you got 2 stones that are really close to the center, and then 1 that's really far away, and then the enemy is like slightly further away from your close stone, you're gonna get 2 points. That's basically it. So you can watch it and be like, hey, why'd you shoot it like that, idiot? I wouldn't have done that. I think what it is that in the Winter Olympics, it feels like there's more tournaments. And admittedly, I think like part of the problem with the Summer Olympics in this regard is like nobody really worries about, like, they don't care about the, you know, soccer at the Olympics as much as they care about soccer at, you know, the World Cup or the various national federation or continental federations like, you know, Euro and, or UEFA, I should say, and CONCACAF, etc., etc. But in the Winter Olympics, you get men's hockey, you get women's hockey, you get men's curling, women's curling, mixed doubles curling. There's like a lot of tournaments that you can follow for multiple days that kind of make things like engaging to watch over and over. Even if you don't know much about the sport, you're like, well, I watched, you know, Great Britain almost beat us yesterday. Sorry. Like, let's see how we do against Slovenia today. It leads to better storylines, I feel. But I'm not disparaging anybody from watching, pardon me, the Summer Olympics as well. Of course. Now, let me see. Men's curling, did Canada beat Great Britain? Canada beats Great Britain 6-4 in men's Olympic curling. Sorry, former colonial overlords. Looks like the student has become the master. We win again. Maybe we're the empire, at least for curling. That is kind of something that I think about when Canada is the favorite in a sport in the Olympics. I'm like, are we Team Iceland from the Mighty Ducks 2? Like, are we the team where, like, the Norwegian team is like, oh god, I have to play Canada. And then, like, Kevin Coey slides up to them on those weird soap shoes they use on the ice. Hey, nerds! Ready to get beat? Kevin, come on. Kevin, that is unbecoming of you. Whatever, nerds. Get ready. 8-1. 8-1, that's all I'm saying. We're gonna give you 1, Norway. I really like the idea of a curling bully. Oh, Happy learned to be happy with his items. Let's re-roll this. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. While I'm walking here. You're gonna have to forgive me. There's gonna be a lot of tea sessions here. And not in a Twitter drama sort of way. Oh, I can fly now? I should open things? Dude, if we had to lose the last run to make this run happen, I'm okay with that for now. We're still looking for, like, tiers upgrades because of the quad shot pickup, but everything else is going pretty well. That is not worth it. That is very much worth it to use once. That, I mean, there's a lot of value there. I can't deny that. There's HP, but HP is kind of like, I can take it or leave it. Yeah, give me this and give me a battery. Oh, life's good, dude. Not good enough. I don't even think it's worth picking up, honestly. This is probably our last one. Wow, you're really going for broke here. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. I'm gonna go back and take this. See what we get. Ooh, that's what we're waiting for. And then, in here, I guess we could afford to take jumper cables. Now that we're out of bombs, I am not going to look for the secret room there, but I will open this. And if we get bombs, which we did, well, we have to go to our curse room, so let's start there. Plus we got like it looks like Crazy Hat Day at school. The gods, we are rolling in HP. I had no idea. Yes, Tomo? You got something to say to me? Just say it, dude. Don't just look at me. Oh, I'm a cat. Yeah, whatever. I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. Probably. Unless we're in Elon Musk's simulation, in which case, well, yeah, okay, fair, valid point. Also, when I watch the Olympics, I think of, like, the perfect crime. And I know that sounds menacing, but, like, what if... In fact, this is, like, almost too real to joke about, because that one dude from Georgia, like the country of Georgia, died doing skeleton at the Vancouver Olympics. Skeleton is just a face-first luge, but I look at, like, ski jump and luge and skeleton. Bobsled is at least, like, you've got walls around you to some extent, but, like, the luge and the skeleton, and then the ski jump, which just seems like the most pointless way to possibly die. No offense meant if you're from, you know, one of the 4 countries that's good at ski jumping. Which is like you get critiqued for the length of your jump and also the artistry of it, and then depending on the power of your jump, you start the race at a different time. Like, who thought of these rules? I have to know. You may leave, Tomo. But, what if you just swapped, you just like, well, I guess it doesn't make any sense. It's like, what if you swapped positions? You're a ski jumper, but you want someone, yeah, let's take it, out of the equation. You just give them your uniform and you go, hey, good luck in the ski jump, but you, like, you know, mess with one of their skis. They would just definitely be dead and everyone would be like, what a terrible accident. But then it would probably be investigated for like many, many years to come. Don't even, people go, wow, NL, are you okay? I'm not in a position to do it. You don't even have to worry, like, in the least about it. It's not like I can do that to somebody on my stream. Hey, dude, want to stream for me? Ooh. You dropped so many frames, you had a heart attack. Unlikely. Be destroyed. Give me another deal with the devil. We don't deserve it, but I want to finish this run quickly so I can drink 6 glasses of water before the stream. Okay. It's a luck upgrade, but I'm gonna re-roll it anyway. I'm okay with it. Let me check Skype for a second here. What you thinking? What about some hold fasty, some blank, and some quip with some jackbox of some variety? Unless you have a better, you have some suggestions. It's kind of aggressive to say unless you have a better suggestion, because when we use that as an idiom in the English language, it's like, it's kind of combative. Try to explain idioms wherever possible. Dude, there are people, there was a thread on the Northernlion subreddit recently that was like, upvote this if you learned how to speak English because, or Northernlion at least helped you learn how to speak English. I weep for you. Because there's a generation out there, not a lot of people, probably just, you know, a few 100 million, who learned to a little bit of, like, English nuance from my videos, and you're all out there talking like dicks, okay? Because I talk like a dick. I'm always like, oh, so when you said, add water to the pot, do you mean pour water from the measuring cup into the pot receptacle that's been heating? Like, I'm so careful with the way that I word things that it annoys people. So I really, like, you've made a terrible choice. Oh, dude. I think we want Abaddon, but not Judas's Shadow. Because we have so much HP, it's very cumbersome to kind of respawn here. But that's why I try to explain, like, English idioms. If you can use an idiom in English, then you are a fluent speaker, as far as I'm concerned. Like, if I say, I don't have any clue what you're talking about, and you just instinctively, or like, you know, you process it and you go, okay, that means he doesn't know what I'm talking about. Instead of like, what do you mean any clue? Like, you are not the Holmes of Sherlock. Because English is stupid. And I'm sure every other, like, sometimes in the Jackbox games, they have like a section on Russian culture. And it'll be like, in Russia, the expression that is the English equivalent of don't count your chickens until they hatch is like, don't, you know, pick the cabbages until blank. And you go, oh my god, what are they thinking? But we got the same thing going on in English, absolutely. Like, there's very good idioms in English. Like, for example, here's an English idiom. When people say, what's up, that doesn't mean what's up. That means hi. Some people are going to be pedantic, and they're going to dispute me on this. Some of the time, they're going to be right, by the way. Because if I say, oh, what's up? You know, I'm not feeling well. Oh, what's up? That means, like, tell me more. Most of the time, though, when you see somebody, you say, what's up? You're just saying hi. A lot of people, it's a hard thing for people that didn't grow up speaking the language to grasp. The other thing with English is that so much of it is nuance. Like, it really is like the worst language. I say that, like, I have no qualifications to say that despite teaching ESL. Like, here, let me put it this way. If I'm going to defend myself whenever I make a speaking error or a spelling error and people go, lol, former English teacher, I can't turn around and be like, well, I was a former English teacher, so you know this is what it's like, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't work like that. So, basically, as an English teacher for 7-year-olds in South Korea, you gotta know like 4 phrases. Sit down. I'm fine, thank you, and you, how are you? Those are like the 3 key ones. You can get through a 40-minute lecture with just those in most proficiency levels. When you get into try to explain to, like, I had some moments. I had a student in my school who got like one-on-one lecture, and she was crazy smart. She was like 12 or 13. She spoke English, like she had always had one-on-one tutelage, so she was like a very advanced student, especially for her age. We could have conversations in English, and sometimes she'd be like, you know, teacher, when people say this in English, why does it mean this? And you go, well, you know, sorry, you just gotta remember it. When people say, I couldn't care less, what does that mean? It means or when people say, I could care less, what does it mean? Oh, it means I couldn't care less. What does it mean when they say, why don't they just say I don't care? And you're like, well, sorry, sorry, kiddo, just one of those things you gotta learn. Do we want acid baby? Well, do we want an acid baby? I might as well take it. Dude, the tea is working. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't really want to see that. I don't know. We're on Dank Depths 2. I feel like I go through this sometimes, but like I feel like the run is slowed down, and I have slowed down as a player. Admittedly, I'm, you know, drinking a beverage that I hope is caffeinated, but I haven't looked at it in a while. Have I ever gone on a rant? And it's not really a rant that's meant to insult anybody. But I want to be honest with you. I don't understand decaf coffee. I understand the existence of it in the same way that I understand the existence of non-alcoholic beer. Where I'm like, if I see it in the grocery store, I get it. It's for people who, for whatever reason, when they think of beer, they're like, I want to have the taste of Budweiser without experiencing the effects. Maybe they're recovering from a drinking problem, or, you know, they got their own reasons, and it's not for me to judge, basically. But whenever I see an ad for non-alcoholic beer on the TV, I'm like, who is this targeting? Who's watching this and going, oh man, I could really go for some Budweiser Prohibition Ale right now. It's just one of those things that, you know, they've got more data than me, so I kind of, you know, trust them to be making a decision that makes sense for them at the time. But I'm also looking at it and going, really? I would have thought, you know, you'd be advertising the default product. But either way, it's neither here nor there. So I get decaf in the sense that people are like, I like the taste of coffee, but I have no caffeine tolerance, or I've already had caffeine or whatever today. But like, why is it so common? Like if I go to 7-Eleven and I get a coffee, There's like light roast, dark roast, decaf. What percentage of coffee drinkers are regularly getting decaf? I'm being sincere. It just seems like one of those things where, like, especially like when I'm at 7-Eleven, I'm like, the coffee is fine, but it's not that good. Never in my life have I been like, I want to get a coffee from 7-Eleven for the taste. It's the same as the Budweiser analogy, where I'm just like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, wouldn't you rather get like a bottled iced tea or a soda or a water or anything, a juice of some sort? I'm not trying to police people's enjoyment, by the way. Decaf is one of those things I don't really get. I very much get non-caffeinated teas, because people are like, it's very common to be like, you know, it's before bed, I'd like to have a warm drink that doesn't wake me up. But like, I don't know, coffee has like that association with being a stimulant. At least here, it's probably a cultural thing, because like, I know, you know, in Britain, for example, you guys are drinking tea for the pick-me-up a lot of the time, right? It's a cultural thing, but also that's like your stimulant of choice? I don't know. You guys drink a lot of coffee? I assume they probably drink a lot of coffee pretty much everywhere. No thank you. I am out of here. Let's see how the Skype group is coming along. Blank, like a free bingo space, or I don't understand. That's like your choice sort of situation. Then I gotta go back over here. I gotta talk to Robert. Give me a second. Robert. God, Skype is terrible. Robert! Alpaca Patrol. Hello, my dude. Wanna join for the show today? Alrighty. Sick, man. That's what I am. I do want to point, like, part and parcel with the kind of content I make. I want to make it clear. I might come across like a judgmental person, but if someone brought up the things that I say to me in real life outside of the context of making a video, I'd be like, why is there decaf everywhere? I don't understand. Like, who's drinking decaf? It's stupid. I would be like, dude, it's just people like it. Just, you know, it doesn't matter to you. There's still other coffee. Just go pick it up. But what I want this to be a safe place for me to espouse my own ignorant opinions, and also just be able to be like, let's talk about this and let's learn. Because on a layman's level, layman's lack the info that I need. Layman's tears down. I need we didn't actually get the tears down there, which is nice. Or we didn't get the effect, I should say. I'd like to know what percentage of people are out there drinking decaf and why. Like, the non-alcoholic beer thing, there are people with like a psychological or biological dependency on alcohol. And that does happen with caffeine, but it's generally, people go like, well, yeah, caffeine's a drug, it's just more socially acceptable. Well, yeah, but it's also like substantially less damaging for the average person. Very, very rarely is somebody like, oh, I had too many coffees yesterday, I gotta call out sick from work, or I got too many coffees yesterday, like, you know, I missed my kid's ballet recital, you know? So, it's kind of a false equivalency. So people go like, yeah, okay, alcohol's a drug, but so's sugar. Yeah, I know, you're right, in sort of, well, I mean, you're literally not in this case, but I get what you're saying. It has a psychological impact. Is this DG? It is DG. Give me a minute, there's gotta be something we haven't done in a bit. No worries, we might be 5 mins late or so. That's no look, left-handed keyboard. Okay. Okay, sick. Talk with, Austin is gonna join Urs as well. Just planning, Docky, you got any suggesties? I got 4 Skype messages in the space of a minute there. At this point, again, I'm above the law. I'm assuming that if you're watching the Isaac series, we're well past the point of like, I really wish you wouldn't. Like, I would prefer there to be some high-density Isaac entertainment instead of him talking to his friends. I'm assuming at this point, if you're watching the Isaac series, I could probably, like, actually slaughter an infant over the course of this episode. And people would be like, well, I didn't really like that one, but, you know, maybe I'll take a couple days off. I'll be back in a week. He does still have the zany anecdote. Yes, you got me. What I'm saying is I'm above the law. I'm saying King Kong ain't got nothing on me. It's time to get into my really controversial opinions. Like, for example, should the Edmonton Oilers be permanently banned from the NHL for squandering so many #1 draft picks in the 2000s and 2010s? Answer? Well, I have to put that in front of the Board of Governors, and I mean, there's hockey-related revenues and socio-political considerations. Oh, I did not mean to re-roll the item that was gonna give me spun, but you can't criticize me, cause a cough, cough, baby, I'm sick. You wouldn't flame a man with glasses, would you? Hey, stop this. Where did that stereotype come from that nerds wear glasses, by the way? I'm not disputing it, I mean, look at me. But, like, at the same time, if you had, like, bad vision in the 1920s, did you just go, well, I'm just gonna tough it out. Like, I don't want to be a nerd to get glasses. Didn't need to do that. Oh, what? You're so important you need your eyes to see or something like that? I didn't realize that we were with a real friggin' nerd here. Or is it like, you know, if you wore glasses, if you played sports, they could eject glass into your eyes at like 100 miles an hour? So you were like, oh, I guess I better read books now. Oh, look at Mr. Big Shot, you know, with his functioning eyesight and everything. You think you're better than me? It's like my favorite fake bully thing to say. You think you're better than me? No, Steve, it's just not, Steve, it's not like that. I just like reading, you think you're better than me because you like to read books? You think you're better than me because you think that Loveless is a better album than Psycho Candy? You think you're better than me? Well, just because I prefer OK Computer to Amnesiac, all of a sudden I'm the bully? Okay. This run is very weird, but also very strong. You could say it protect, but it also attack. And if you did say that, I'm sorry, you're banned. It had to be done. Please be destroyed post-haste. Oh man, I'm not a religious person. Yesterday I did say the phrase, I pray that this is actually the height of the illness instead of just, you know, when the roller coaster tricks you into thinking it's almost over, but actually it's only getting started. I am going to say the same thing today. I pray that this is the height of the roller coaster, because I feel like 7 out of 10 right now. You can hear me, like, the strength is coming back in my voice. But dude, if this is like day 4 of a 14-day illness, just freaking put me in an assisted coma or something. I'm gonna get the whole country of South Korea sick with Canadian flu. It's a very polite flu, but it's surprisingly strong, especially in mixed doubles curling. Did you know in Canada, this is true, and it's one of those things that I hesitate to say because people who aren't from Canada are like, that's so Canadian, and I want to be like, F you, buddy, but you're right as well. In Canada, there's something called the sorry clause, legally. I don't know if it's called the sorry clause, but essentially the way that it goes is you can't... apologizing to someone is not an admission. Let's try it. And let's try it. Apologizing to someone is not considered an admission of guilt in Canada. So you can apologize, and I think this is like actually smart. If you get in a car accident, you can say, I'm sorry, without the other person being able to use it against you in court as like a sign that you're admitting fault. Because in Canada, we just say, I'm sorry. I mean, we say it willy-nilly. Like, sometimes, you know, this is not a joke. Sometimes the person, like, let's say a fast food cashier will be like, can I take your order? And you just start with sorry. You're like, sorry, I could have responded to you a quarter of a second faster. Okay. Or like, hey, can I get that with onion rings? Oh, we're out of onion rings. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll take French fries. Like, you didn't even have anything to do with that, but you're like, I'm sorry I forced you to disappoint me by ordering something you didn't have. That's just what we do. We're very polite. But what it is like, I think in other countries, sorry is like, I've done something to dishonor you or inconvenience you personally, and I'm apologizing for that. In Canada, we're apologizing for the earth. We're saying, like, I'm sorry that we live in a cruel world. I can sympathize with you on this. I'll take the French fries. It's like, I'm sorry that Earth doesn't allow an unlimited supply of onion rings. That was very presumptuous of me to assume that. I think, by the way, we have a lot of jerks, and I've done this bit 500 times, but we have a lot of jerks in Canada. It's not all nice people. But everybody says sorry. It's like a cultural bulwark. That's why, like, sometimes you get into, like, these awkward situations when you talk with, particularly Americans, but this is something that reflects nicely on you. For once, I'm not insulting your whole country at once, and 45% of my audience by demographic data. Like, sometimes you'll be speaking with an American, and they'll be like, you know, oh, well, like, I tried to get in there earlier, but traffic was bad. And then you go, oh, I'm sorry about that. And then they go, why are you apologizing? Like, they think you have, like, low self-confidence because you're apologizing for the traffic. They're like, it's not your fault. And you're like, yeah, I'm sorry. I know it's not my fault. I'm sorry for apologizing, but, like, I'm sorry that happened to you. Like, why are you apologizing? Did you plan the highway? I'm sorry, I didn't. Why are you? I don't understand. You gotta grow a backbone. It's like, no, I'm sorry. Like, I have one, but we just throw. It's just like an for Canadians to say I'm sorry. Please let me finish this run. I'm ready, and I'm I'm sick. I don't know if I can make it to the... Okay, I can make it. This is a good run. This is a nice little touchstone, or capstone for this run after screwing it all up on the first one today. Don't hurt me. I'm Ryan. Beautiful. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Good luck in the Olympics. That probably are over by now. If you enjoyed it, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.